Hello, everybody. Just adjust my camera, get all situated here. Yeah, should have done my hair, but I didn't. So here I am. This is the Orbital Astrology forecast for the week of November 20th, which is today, Sunday the 20th, all the way till next Saturday, the 29th, 28th. So we are right at the very end of Scorpio season, the end of November. We are in kind of a transitional period, right? Because Sagittarius season starts here next week. We are starting a new moon. We're still kind of decompressing from all of the eclipse energy, and it's just been a little intense, right? So, this week we have Mercury, Jupiter, Venus doing a lot of fun stuff, and those are kind of like the big planetary shifts and themes of the week, I think. Of course, the new moon is also important, but it's a Jupiter ruled new moon. So Jupiter is just going to be kind of like the main energy this week. So, um, yeah. So last week I talked about like the final stretch of Scorpio season and you kind of using that time to decompress, to emotionally process all of the things that happened during eclipse season. So hopefully you had some time to do that. And if not, if you're still in emotional processing, like if you're still kind of like in this weird growth period where you're starting to like think about all the things that triggered you during the eclipses and all the big changes that happened for you, then it's okay. It's not like you have to like hurry up and just evolve already because it's a process. So um, the energy is shifting though from this sort of more internalized sort of private space to psychologically digest things into a more external place, which Sagittarius rules. Um, Much like quicker, more social, more experience oriented, action oriented energy. So it is going to, if you are still kind of in this like psychological processing bubble right now, you may sort of feel like you're being pulled out of it, like almost against your will. But if you can sort of just go with the flow a little bit, because we are experiencing a nice shift this week with Jupiter and Pisces, that's a real big go with the flow energy. So if you can embrace that Jupiter and Pisces energy this week and start to transition yourself into Sagittarius energy, which can be a little bit more active. Like I said last week, I have my coffee here. So coffee is like caffeinated energy. That's kind of Sagittarius energy a little bit. Um, so that is really the big shift this week. So if you are here live, then say hi. If you guys are in my membership, the Orbit membership, hi everybody. Super excited to see you. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks, including the new moon circle. So if you're not part of the Orbit membership, no worries. But if you are interested in learning more about it, and of course you can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, all the things. And we can learn more about that. But anyway, back to the forecast for this week. So what happens on when are we shifting into Sagittarius season? That happens on the 23rd, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday is kind of a big day because we have three big things happening, which is the new moon in Sagittarius. We also have the sun moving into Sagittarius. We also have Jupiter stationing direct in Pisces. So Jupiter has been going retrograde through Pisces for a little bit here after coming back into Pisces. And now we're in the final stretch. It really is this last hurrah for Jupiter because Jupiter is leaving Pisces as of December 20th. So Jupiter will be officially into Aries on December 20th. So this is it. This is the final last few weeks of Jupiter in Pisces. And whether or not you can really enjoy this energy or not, because Jupiter in Pisces is very strong. It's where Pisces traditionally is associated with Jupiter. Jupiter traditionally rules Pisces if you don't use the outer planets as rulerships. So Jupiter's been very strong in Pisces this year. So it's brought a lot of like big ideas, but of course it also has brought like big issues like inflation and conflated ideas and delusion and all of these things about our economy and our world. And wishful thinking. I mean, that's a lot of Jupiter and Pisces energy, but it also can rule creativity and imagination. And I'm really excited because two of my close friends have released new publications in the past few weeks. And that is totally Jupiter and Pisces and very Sagittarian as well, because Sagittarius kind of rules the higher mind, intellectual things, wanting to like spread and teach and educate people. And sometimes that can be like kind of spiritual or metaphysical ideas that are like a little bit out there, but they want people to sort of experience and experiment and understand in their own way. Um, so Michelle Vidal, who is the owner of Resonant Essentials, where I do my astrology readings here in Albuquerque, has just released a book called Mastering Metaphysics. So really awesome, amazing congratulations to her. And it's like such a perfect time to do that, right, during Sagittarius season. And my other friend Esme, who was a part of our astrology group, she also works with me in my membership. She writes, she has created an astrology planner, which last year was like a beta testing, and like the first year it was really officially released, but this year she's created amazing improvements and additions to it and basic astrology lessons. So that's going to be coming out. It's actually already available, but look for some Black Friday sales. Or if you are in part of my membership, you'll be getting a copy of this planner as part of your membership, right? It's complimentary if you are part of the orbit. So if you're interested in learning about astrology, planning, using lunations, using ingresses, and just tracking exactly what's happening in your life, that's really the best way to learn astrology. So it's very in tune with Sagittarius season, because Sagittarius is about learning, opportunities, um, and teaching, basically. So my boss is a teacher. She's teaching metaphysics. My friend is a writer who's writing an astrology planner. So really excited to help my two friends and promote their products. Of course, it helps enhance your own life to learn about more about metaphysics and astrology. And it's very Jupiterian. Jupiter is gifts. So it is like we're getting some gifts that are coming into Sagittarius season. Of course, Black Friday happens after American Thanksgiving. So that's when everyone's looking for presents. Like if you think about Jupiter as being Santa Claus, and Sagittarius as being ruled by Jupiter, there is that kind of a vibe with Sagittarius. Is if you're ever around a Sagittarius, you kind of get this like uplifted feeling because they're just so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like ready to conquer the world with their big ideas, and nothing seems too big for them, right? They're not daunted by um, the overwhelming crushing nature of reality, because Jupiter doesn't rule that. That's all Saturn's world. So the Jupiterian energy of Sagittarius really is going to be prominent this week, especially on Wednesday when that new moon hits, because Jupiter is stationing direct. Scorpio season was, I said let's give thanks to it last week because we're able to process, but really it has been difficult in one aspect, because Mars rules Scorpio in traditional astrology, and Mars is retrograde right now, um, and Mars is just very I don't know, intense right now because it's staying in Gemini for such a long time. So Mars actually goes direct on January 12th. So we're still going to be dealing with this Mars retrograde for the next month and a half, and all the way until next year when we start to shift into the sort of end of Mars in Gemini. But actually, it doesn't happen until April of next year. So at least we're going to be finished with the retrograde as of January. However, since we're shifting into Sagittarius season, the focus is less on Mars. Now it's more on Jupiter. So hopefully, we're going to be feeling much more inspired, much more buoyant, much more optimistic about things. However, I do want to sort of add a caveat, because Jupiter in Pisces sometimes feels overwhelming because it's like so much of that bombarding you. And it also can be too much like overly optimistic, right? Like a sort of a conflated sense of self. And it's like a lot of yes energy, like, yes, I can do that. Of course I can do that. Like Sagittarius have hard time saying no sometimes because they think they can do whatever they want. They have unlimited resources of energy. They can just like conquer the world, right? So that just beware of that energy, because if you're overcommitting to things, if you're saying yes to too many things, then sometimes you're not leaving time for yourself to take care of your own needs. And so just be aware of that, even though it does feel really good to say yes to things that are exciting. Just also give yourself time. I wrote down, do your moon, wherever your moon is, focus on that. Make sure you come back to that moon, feed that moon. And if you have a Sagittarius moon, then you're probably all about this time of the year and tackling the big projects and getting really excited and inspired. So everybody else, do your moon. You might need to step away from the Jupiter energy, the Sagittarius energy, so you can feed your embodiment of your human body here. You need to remember that you're only mortal. You can't just fly off into the atmosphere and sing amongst the angels like a Sag would want you to do. But you know, sort of maintain that realistic optimism to get through, the things that you have to do in your daily life, but also be inspired at the same time. Sag also rules spirituality. It's a great time to like really dig deep into learning something new spiritually. So yeah, grab Michelle's book or start some course that you want to learn more about spirituality. Or if you're interested in learning astrology, of course you can access all of the amazing resources that we have at Resonant Essentials or through Orbital Astrology, or of course anywhere on the internet. Um, but it's so yeah, it's a great time to like start thinking about what you want to develop spiritually and what how do you want to feed your brain basically, because Sages love to do that. They can kind of be a little bit of a know-it-all sometimes. No offense, Sages, but you guys like just get so excited about things, like it becomes, like you want to share it with people. You want to like share all the information with people, and um, you could talk about it forever, right? So let's see. Still kind of getting over a little cold. So yeah, so this Sagittarius energy, this Jupiterian Pisces going direct, finally in this last stretch of Pisces before it goes into Aries, um, can feel like a wave crashing over you. Like you might get this really big, intense push or surge of inspiration, and then just feel like, oh my gosh, reality comes crashing down. Like I don't have the energy to do that. So drink your coffee, get your little bit of caffeine going so you can handle a little bit of Sag energy, because we are in this final stage of this emotional processing from all the eclipses that happened into what have we learned, right? What wisdom have we gained from all of the things that we've gone through? And we're kind of coming to the end of the year. That's when we start looking back, seeing what has happened, um, how we've evolved, how we've grown, how we've changed. And it's, you know, it can be very overwhelming, but necessary, right, in order to evolve. So you may start feeling like, okay, I can start what exactly have I acquired? What exactly have I learned? And what is that level of wisdom that's coming to me after all of this processing through Scorpio season? So I don't think I have a ton more. I will probably go through the moons. Nourish yourself, take care of yourself, take care of your needs, even if it means saying no. I wrote that because yeah, the Sages are such yes people. Yeah, celebrate your journey, celebrate what you've learned, and even if it's been hard, right? Sometimes it's hard to be appreciative of difficult lessons. We get like pissed off, like, I didn't want to go through that. Why did I have to go through that? What if we just said, well, we went through it, it happened, and what have we learned in the process? And it's okay, right? So let's do the moons this week and see exactly what is happening. We got some interesting Venus and Mercury energy this week. So Monday we have today the moon is in moon is in Libra right now. Okay, so today we have kind of a nice a nice alignment between the sun and Scorpio right before it moves into Sagittarius next week. So we're still the very final days of Scorpio seasons. It's at 28 degrees Scorpio, so the sun, and it's making a trine aspect to um, the Pisces, the final Pisces retrograde aspects of Jupiter. So yeah, like all the stuff I've been talking about, like thinking about what is inspiring you, what have you learned, how has Scorpio season helped you process? Like today is a good time to do that. It can be a little bit overwhelming, right? Because of that trine energy, which is so free flowing that you may just get like kind of bombarded by, oh my God, it might be in a kind of an emotional day for people. So hang in there, because we're all going through it together, right? So Monday, moon goes into Scorpio. Tuesday, oh, and then we have the conjunction of Mercury and Venus. So Mercury and Venus are they're kind of moving at the same pace right now. Um, Coming into conjunctions and kazimis with the sun. The sun is kind of a few like one step behind them. So they've already gone into Sagittarius last week. Now the sun is going to move into Sagittarius this week. But Monday, they both conjunct at 7 degrees Sagittarius. That would be Mercury and Venus conjuncting at Sagittarius. So that might be kind of an interesting social day. Monday, you might have conversations with loved ones. It's a good collaboration day. It might be like, oh, the day we start planning Christmas or the day we start planning holidays or talking about what we want to do next year. So that can be a nice little energy. I know last week I talked about like, oh, this is going to be a nice week and there's some good things coming up. But yeah, it was also, there were like a lot of opportunities that opened up last week, but also very much like a lot of like emotional floodgates were kind of opened at the same time. So, astrology brings the good and the bad. Sometimes it's like both at the same time, right? We have to process both of them. So just always have a little bit of awareness that sometimes when I say things like, oh, this Monday and Tuesday are going to be good days, because this alignment happens. Of course, they're going to be showing up in some positive aspect, but sometimes it's a mixed bag, right? Sometimes we get a little wave of positivity and then a little bit of negativity along with it. So, yeah, I mean, it's it's astrology, right? So Tuesday is the day we have the beginning of Sagittarius season, and then Wednesday is the new moon. So, new moon in Sagittarius, I will have a sign up for my new moon circle that happens every month. So, if you would like to join, it's free. So, look for that link in the Facebook group. And then, of course, Jupiter stations direct, moon goes into Sag for the new moon conjunction. And then Thursday, we have some Mercury aspects with asteroids. So those will be interesting days. We have a trine aspect with Chiron on Thursday, the 24th. So opportunities for healing. And then Friday, we have Venus doing the same thing, right? Having a trine to Chiron. So Venus and Mercury are kind of moving in sync with each other right now. And so we'll get a kind of a double whammy of all of the alignments with all the planets, because first Mercury will go through and then Venus will go through afterwards. So first we'll have a conversation, then we'll have the emotional how did I feel about that? What does that mean to me? Is this making me feel supported and happy? Or is it making me feel the other way? So conversation happens first this week, then the emotional part processing after. Friday is the voided course moon, so not a great day to start any new projects, just kind of like finishing up things, reviewing things, maybe a quiet rest day. It's Black Friday, so you're all will be relaxing, hopefully, overfed on that day. Yeah, so Saturday next week is not a huge day as far as big alignments. So moon just making some aspects to planets moving through Capricorn, moon in Capricorn. And yeah, so that's kind of the thing for this week. And I will be not at work, obviously, on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. And I hope that you have a relaxing holiday with friends. I know for some of us, and my family included, this is the first time we're all going to be together in 2 years, really, since COVID started. So I wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. I wish you all time of rest and peace. We are kind of moving into the darkest part of the year. The light is gone. It's slowly diminishing, right? The daylight is kind of getting less and less. And so Sagittarius season really represents that candle in the dark because it is a fire sign, but it is that like it brings the luminarias, it brings the light to us to remind us that it's not all darkness out there. We can have a little bit of hope and inspiration. So um, I hope that you have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you next week. So be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.